Is it really an upgrade if most people can't tell the difference? That's the main thought circling after fresh leaks revealed nearly full spec sheets for Google's upcoming Pixel 10 Pro and Pixel 10 Pro XL. If you were hoping for a big change this year, you might be disappointed. These phones look and feel almost like last year's Pixel 9 Pro series, with only a few minor tweaks here and there. The Pixel 10 Pro will still offer a 6.3-inch OLED display with a resolution of 2856 by 1280 pixels and a refresh rate of 120 Hz. It will also hit up to 3000 nits of brightness and come with Gorilla Glass Victus to protection. Basically, the display is nearly a copy of the one in the Pixel 9 Pro. Inside, the biggest change is the new Tensor G5 chip. Unlike last year's chip, which was built using Samsung's 4nm process, this one is expected to be made by TSMC using 3nm technology. That could bring better power efficiency and slightly faster performance. But let's be honest, this is the kind of improvement we see every year with new phones. Storage options for the Pixel 10 Pro remain similar, starting at 128GB and going up to 1TB. RAM is still 16GB, so multitasking performance will be strong but not dramatically better than what we've seen. When it comes to the camera, the specs are pretty much unchanged: a 50 megapixels main camera, 48 megapixels ultra-wide, 48 megapixels telephoto lens with 5x optical zoom, and a 42 megapixels front camera. These numbers are exactly the same as last year's model, so unless Google has improved the camera sensors or processing software, don't expect a big leap in image quality. The battery on the Pixel 10 Pro gets a small upgrade from 4700 to 4870 mAh, and wired charging increases slightly from 27 watt to 29 watt. Wireless charging stays the same at 15 watt. These are minimal changes that won't really transform the user experience. Now moving to the Pixel 10 Pro XL, it's bigger, but is it better? The display is a 6.8-inch OLED with 2990 by 1340 for pixel resolution, also peaking at 3000 nits brightness with 120 Hz refresh rate. Again, almost identical to the previous 40 model. It will also use the Tensor G5 chip and 16GB of RAM, and will come in 256GB, 512GB, and 1TB storage options. Here's where things get slightly different. The base model will start at 256GB, which sounds generous until you learn that the starting price might jump to $1,199, up from $1,099 for the Pixel 9 Pro XL. For many buyers, that extra $100 might not feel worth it when the hardware and design barely change. Battery size increases a little from 5060 to 5200 mAh, and wired charging improves from 37 watt to 39 watt. Wireless charging still sits at 15 watt. Again, these are the kind of upgrades that look good on paper, but are unlikely to impact daily use in a noticeable way. So what's really new here? Besides the processor and some minor battery tweaks, not much. The design is basically the same, the cameras have the same megapixel counts, and even the charging speeds haven't changed much. For many users, this might feel more like a Pixel 9s than a true Pixel 10. Google could still announce some software improvements or hidden features that weren't revealed in the leak. But based on the information we have now, this doesn't look like a major upgrade. If you're using a Pixel 8 or 9 series phone, you probably won't feel the need to rush out and buy the 10. But if you're holding onto an older device, maybe these small updates will be enough to tempt you. If you like this video and want more updates as the launch gets closer, hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a thing. Is Apple already too late to lead the foldable phone market? That's a question many are starting to ask as new leaks reveal Apple's first foldable iPhone might not launch until the end of 2026. Meanwhile, Samsung will likely be unveiling its 8th generation foldable by then, the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And based on early reports, Samsung might still keep the upper hand in a few important ways. Let's break this down in simple terms. Even though Apple is finally getting into foldables, Samsung's experience and current hardware could give it a clear lead in three key areas: screen size, camera setup, and daily comfort when using the phone. First, let's talk about size, and no, not the size of the phone in your pocket, but the screen you get once you open it. Samsung has been pushing large foldable displays for years. Their upcoming Galaxy Z Fold 7 is already rumored to feature an 8-inch inner display that's pretty big for a foldable. Apple's first foldable iPhone, on the other hand, might only offer a 7.58-inch foldable screen. Some reports mention a possible 7.8-inch size, but even then, Samsung's device would still be slightly ahead for users who want to browse, stream, or multitask. Every inch counts, and Samsung might just offer more of it. Now, let's move on to the cameras. The leaks suggest Apple will go with two rear cameras, each with 48 megapixel resolution. That sounds fine, but there's a catch: no mention of a telephoto lens. That means limited zoom capability without losing image quality. Samsung, however, is going all out. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 is expected to keep its powerful setup: a 200-megapixel main camera, a 12-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 10-megapixel telephoto camera. By the time we see the Fold 8, Samsung could even upgrade the ultra-wide or telephoto cameras to 50 megapixels. That kind of setup gives users more options, whether it's wide shots, zoomed-in images, or super sharp detail. But there's one more thing that might matter even more in daily life: how the phone feels in your hand. Apple's design is rumored to be inspired by the iPad mini, which could mean a wider phone when it's folded shut. That might look cool on paper, but could make one-handed use a challenge. Samsung, meanwhile, has stuck with a narrow and tall design using a 21:9 aspect ratio. This makes the fold phones easier to use when closed, whether you're texting, scrolling, or just holding the phone with one hand while multitasking. And when opened, you still get that big screen experience. Sure, Apple is known for doing things its own way. Its foldable iPhone could bring some smart software tricks, a premium titanium body, and a strong hinge using composite materials. But Samsung's head start can't be ignored. With years of trial, feedback, and updates behind it, Samsung might use the Fold 8 to not just match Apple but stay ahead. Also, we can expect Samsung to go all in next year, knowing they're about to face Apple in the foldable market for the first time. They'll likely bring bigger upgrades and extra polish to the Fold 8 to make sure it shines. So, even though Apple is finally joining the foldable party, Samsung may still be the one setting the standard. Bigger screens, more flexible cameras, and a design that actually makes sense in your hand. That's what the Galaxy Z Fold 8 could offer. Now the question is, will Apple change the game when it arrives, or will Samsung stay ahead by keeping things simple but effective? What's your take? Let us know in the comments. Hit that like button if this gives you something to think about, and make sure to subscribe so you're always updated with what's coming next in the world of tech.
Could the next Galaxy phone feel like a downgrade for European users?